sure we're unmuted. There we go. Good to see everybody. Welcome. I'm jumping on a little bit early. I see we've got some first timers. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm wanting to make sure my team says everything is ready to rock and roll. We're good to go. We're live. We're live. Day 3. I cannot wait for today. I have the most amazing human being that has come to serve you today to really help open your mind around what is a $1 million business owner? What do they think? What are they paying attention to? And why, as we talked about yesterday, why is it important that you unhook from stories that literally will keep you from the very thing you want? And you're going to find out. I know Sarah really well, and I'm going to introduce you here in a second, but you're going to find out. You're going to have some major ahas today, and it's going to be really, really powerful. Now, I want to welcome some of our new 67-day year family that have been joining, that are going to take and create a year's worth of goals in 67 days. Like, I'm going to look over here, Kim Johnson from VIP, Tara Kane, Catherine Zeke, Trisha Allen, Jermaine Allen from VIP, Roxanne Andler, Sarah Cannell herself is in the room, Rodney, Jenny McKim. So welcome. I can't read everybody, but I just wanted to say welcome. You guys were the fast starts. You wanted to get your hands on that disappearing bonus and also ditch that feeling of I can't figure it out. I don't know what it takes. I don't know my niche. I don't know how to find leads. I don't know, like all the I don't knows, right? The imposter syndrome. We're going to help you unhook from that and build your 67-day year. And so until Sarah finishes, you can still get in and get that bonus of the VIP mastermind with me, where we're going to be sitting together as a group and building out your 67-day year. So you're not going to want to miss out on that. Go to 67dayyear.com before Sarah finishes up, and you can still get your hands on that disappearing bonus. And then just to let those of you know that are thinking about paying in full, I don't know if you noticed this, but yesterday I added 2 really juicy bonuses for you. Of course, you're going to get access to that live mastermind with me. That's going to stay your bonus as a pay in full. You're also going to get a one-on-one call with a master certified coach to really plan out and execute through any business issues, anything that you want, niche, anything. That's your time with them. And then I'm also, when you finish 67-day year, my pay in full clients are going to get me emailing my list for you, telling my people about what you do. Pretty powerful. 40,000 people. It's an instant push on your business. So if you're thinking on the fence and you're ready to pay in full, make sure you do that. So I am going to move down the line here. We did a lot yesterday. When Sarah finishes up today, we will recap, but I'm going to bring Sarah in the room. Sarah and I know each other from a mastermind. We've been in mastermind together for like,
I know.
5, has it been 5 years?
No, this is my 3rd. So
okay,
like,
so it's been 4 years. Yeah. But I mean, this is like my sister, I swear. And she is the most humble person I know, but a best-selling author, TEDx speaker. I loved the picture of you, Sarah, on the Jumbotron in New York City with your book. And one of the things I love about you and what you do is that you empower millionaire business owners, and you help them write their signature, I call it their signature life's work, but their signature book that gets out to the world. I'm just curious, for those of you who are live, those watching on the replay, who has the idea of, gosh, one day I would love to write a book. One day I would love to write a book. So Sarah's working with me. We're going to be launching the 67-day year book coming out soon. But I'm just thrilled to have you come in. The last couple days, we've been breaking down how their brains naturally don't allow success.
Yes.
And how they're like hooked to old, broken, antiquated industrial age employee making systems and wondering why it's not working. And so we also showed them what does, which is the 67-day year method, and how to create, you've seen it in yourself, literally collapse time, right? And we opened the doors to 67-day year. You jumped in, which is amazing.
I'm in.
Yeah. So I love it. So we got future author here. Tell me your names too, because StreamYard doesn't have them. And it says a devotional book. I love that so much. So we've got a couple people live, and then when you're watching on the replay, let us know. But Sarah, I'd love for you to just start talking to them about what you see in $1 million business owners that maybe is different from those that are just getting started.
Yes, Shannon, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. And also, who doesn't want to create a whole year's worth of results in 67 days? To me, I was like, sign me up. I'm all in. But I love what you teach, because it's essential, and it's basically sort of required curriculum in our world for people to do the neuroscientific, the subconscious, all the work that you're all doing here on this amazing event. And I'm so honored to be here. So what I want to talk about is a little bit what the $1 million mindset wasn't for me as a launch to what it is. Because a few years ago, and I don't know if anyone, has had an experience like this, I knew that I was doing the work that I was put on this earth to do. Like, there was no question in my mind that I was on purpose. I worked with a few tremendous people. I got incredible results. I helped them write a great book, all this, but I couldn't make any money. I just didn't know how to. I didn't know how to build a business. I didn't know how to do any of it. Right. And so I had a lot of shame, because I would go to my accountant at the end of the year and he'd go, well, you don't have to pay much in taxes, because essentially you made, and it was brutal. And it wasn't about him. It was, I knew that I wasn't living up to the gifts inside me. That's really what it was. And so something just kind of broke. You have these moments, right? We have these moments, and I'm like, I just get to figure this out. There's something. And what I figured out was that it's 100% mindset. It's what you teach it, which is why I think this work is absolutely, again, it's in our community. It's non-negotiable to either do your work, or the work that I talk about in The Science of Getting Rich for Women, which is our book on this topic. But the point is, my mindset was so entrenched. The story I was running, right? You did stories yesterday. It's whatever story we're running is what's going to play out. That's the one that's going to win. So I was running a story of unworthy. I was running a story of I'm a creative, so I don't know how to make money. I had stuff about being a woman and making money. I had all kinds of junk from my family, my religion, just all of it. And everything has come down to me doing the mindset work, which is why, again, I'm so excited for you all being here. And I hope everyone joins in 67 day years so we can do it together and go to the next level, because yes, it was about outer action. So what was the mindset? If the mindset was unworthy, I'm not capable. I just had so much junk. And then the mindset, the real turning point was that I stopped identifying with that mentality anymore. I stopped identifying. I wrote a story, and I made a decision, because I think decisions determine our destiny. Yeah. And the decision was, and for me, that involved getting into community and into rooms with people who were doing what I wanted to do. When I looked around, there was that phrase, that very sobering idea of our wealth, our success, our health, our everything will reflect the 5 people or groups with whom we spend the most time. And I have wonderful people in my life. They're still my friends, but they were broke ass too. You know what I mean? They weren't making, we just weren't, we had a poverty consciousness, right? And so it took for me to get around people that I admired and respected and liked their values. These were people and women of integrity, and they were moms, and they had good marriages, and they were millionaires. And it was like, that was scary as you know what, because I had to spend money I didn't feel like I had, invest in myself, but I rebuilt the new story and the millionaire mindset. And now we have the multi-7-figure, businesses, is for me is first about identity. It's saying, and the cool part I love, Jenna, is that we don't have to have faith in it. We don't have to have confidence. That's what I love about this. If we do, so I have the equation in my book called, instead of just be, do, have, it's be, release, do, have. So what I mean by that is be is the new identity, and say, what every day I woke up and I said, what would the 7-figure CEO? All the voices in my head are screaming, you're not even a 6-figure. You don't know what you're doing. You can't, I just said, what would she do? Well, she would wear this. She would actually reach out to people. She would make offers. She would figure out her SHIT. She would like, you know,
Yeah.
she'd read books. She'd do stuff that I'm not doing. And so it was like being in community, having mentorship of people doing it a few steps ahead, and then holding myself accountable to build a new identity. But the release doesn't get talked about. Which
Yeah.
work is so crucial. Everyone goes, "B, do you have?" But if unconsciously everything in me is going,
Yeah.
safe,
90% of your decisions, actions, and results come from those stories. So if you don't have it released, like it's literally like pulling a semi truck uphill. Can you do it?
maybe. Yeah.
But it's gonna be really, really hard.
It's your Sisyphus with that boulder usually rolling right back the hill, down the hill. So what happened is that was really exciting is I started doing neuroscientific practices. I started really getting into this and researching this work. And I realized if we release, not only will it be like you're swimming with the current, which thank God, so much nicer, but you'll accelerate the results, which is why you can do 67 days a year of goals in 67 days, because we're caring for that piece. And it is like flipping magic. It's magic. It's like we get those old, there are a lot of them are ancestral, they're family, they're just like stuff. But I had so much, in fact, to the point that when I launched the Science of Getting Rich for Women last year, you know, I have a family member who's not speaking to me because she thinks it's so awful that I would talk about money, care about money, write about money. Like I mean, that just shows like where my family mentality comes from. And I didn't believe in myself. And so you don't have to. The cool part is if you get in the right community, and that's what you have here, then we don't have to, all we have to do is act as if, you know, we have the new identity, take the actions that the new person would take. You know, it's really the true us. That's what I love. Don't you find we're actually becoming who we really are?
Yeah. It's one of the things we talk about in the program. It's like each of us have been layered. Have you ever seen like somebody like puts on like, what is that show where it's in the winter and she keeps putting sweater after sweater after sweater after sweater on the little kid, and he's like walking.
Yes, Christmas Story. She's wrapped in this thing, and
wrapped in like he's like falls over and he's like a little bug, you know, can't get up. That's how we're walking around life with all of these things that we have. Okay. And here's the thing. Somebody needs to hear this. Somebody's going to get like, aha, right now. Christmas Story. That's exactly it. So, the stories that Sarah had to unhook from, that I had to unhook from, that we've developed this mind matrix process to help you move through. The prefrontal cortex part of your mind doesn't fully develop until you're 21 to 25. 21 for women, 25 for men. Don't ask me why. That's a God question. But so when you're 12, 13, 14, and your parents are giving you conversations about what they believe about money, about worth, about enoughness, about what you're capable of, what you as a family are and aren't, those for your mind, it's a game of repetition.
Yes.
We think it's like these people get it and these people don't know. It's just a different pattern of repetition that's been repeated over them. And wealthy people have the pattern of wealth being repeated over them. So they have an advantage. They don't think like, well, we're just these people, right? And so when you get in and unhook from these things, it's like, it's the only thing that's been putting all those layers on you all that time. I mean, did you feel that when you finally started?
100%. And I was so, I mean, does anyone have this too, where you're aware of it? You're like, yeah, I got some family stuff around money or whatever. But also when you really start looking and peeling, and what's cool, this is just, you do it in 3 days. And even if everyone I was in a workshop once, and a woman, when I started doing this inner work, and this woman said, I don't have any blocks. And the mentor said, with love, then you'd already have everything you want. Like, do you have everything on your vision board? And she's like, well, no, I'm not making. And she's like, so sit down in the chair and do the work. And I was just remember being like, I never had any illusions that I didn't have work to do. I was always very, very aware. However, a really fun exercise that I love doing for myself is to put any new goal I have. So like, we're all going to pick a goal for 67 days, right? Yeah. Your goal. And I'm so excited about this. I'm just so jazzed. So we're going to put that goal, and let's say you write that on the left column, and then you draw a line down the page, or you can do it on a screen. And then on the right-hand column, I just let every objection rise up out of me, like not being spiritual, not being evolved, just like legitimately, what are my fears, concerns, and usually a whole bunch of stuff. You've never done it. You tried it before. It didn't work. Other people can have it, not you, just whatever. And then you're going to see. And those things that we write down in that right-hand column are actually the only things in the way.
Yeah.
It's never the economy. It's never our education. It's never our age. It's never our ability. It's in my belief system, it is none of it. It's only this junk that our subconscious has been holding, and it just rousts it out. And then you do the matrix, you do the things that you're teaching, and you clear it out. You're done.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would love to ask you, now you interviewed a ton of multi 7-figure and 8-figure business owners.
Yeah.
For your book. And what did you see that they didn't think about?
Yeah.
And what did you see that they did?
A couple great things. And that's why it's fun to write books, because you get to do all these, learn all stuff. So one of the key, this is really, really critical for women. It's for both of us, but women do this more, is they focused on opportunity versus cost. I can still fall into like, let's say you feel like it would really help me to hire someone in some area, but it's, oh God, that's this much a month or this much a year, this much an hour, and focusing on the cost instead of these 7 and 8-figure business owners said, here's the opportunity. This is going to give me 5 hours a week back. It's going to take off my mental load, and I'm going to go create another $1 million. Yeah. They completely see, like, they're not even thinking about cost. They're thinking about opportunities. So that was one really big one. Another one was they all had some kind of, and this is just maybe who I attracted to talk to in the book, but some kind of faith, spirituality, some level of, there's a bigger purpose to my work, to why I'm here. And it may, again, just be people that because that's my worldview. So, and it was all different, very diverse of what that faith was or what that worldview, but that nobody I interviewed, which is excellent, was like, I just want to make a bunch of money. I'm like hoarding. Yeah. It was like, I want to be in contribution. I want to be in service. That it's almost like impact was the goal and the money is the result. And I just think that's super cool. So I think there was a real sense of purpose and mission. And you know what else? People did not hoard. They're willing to take risks. They're willing to invest. They're willing to say, this is kind of back to opportunity, but also it's like, hey, I'm going to bet on myself. Yeah. Like they're willing to play real out there and bet. And that's what I get to do now. Cause we're going, you and I are going to 8 figures. So now it's like, ooh, different story. We get to
different story. I keep telling them, like, I'm walking this path with them because there's always the next part of our calling to step into.
You bet.
And I love that you talked about this, because just watching, by the way, we have had the most incredible group of people live and watching replays. When I'm asking them what their meaningful goal is, what is the big thing they want to create this year? And we're helping them actually break those steps down into micro steps so that they can get such clarity around it that they never ask that question again of what do I do? Right. Because that stops so many incredible people, right? But the number one thing that you just talked about, that difference of investment, opportunity versus cost. Yes. And I know a lot of people are like that right now, like, oh, I want to, it costs money. I'd love for you to talk about like time versus money here, because what they would get back to join, I mean, it's just night and day. So I would love for you to talk about that.
For sure. Because I'm if we were all raising hands here, it's like, I still, again, I'm rewiring this part. I'm going to do that in the 67 days. Like I'm going to do this because it's so tempting, right? To think, ooh, the money, but what we discount is our value, both our ability to think and have open white space. Yeah. I bet if we polled entrepreneurs here, it's almost none of us let ourselves have white space. Like I'm a mother, there's all the things going. If I'm not
in the chat, tell us, are you,
tell us,
like, no white space, busy,
right? It's like, again, I've got a kid, a dog, a husband, I run 2 businesses, there's stuff. So here's the thing, like there's 2 things that have really helped me on this. The first one is to play the exercise out where we say, what task am I doing right now? So let's say I'm returning emails. I'm jumping in my email inbox and I'm returning emails. And I say, what would I pay someone? If I was going to hire someone to manage my email inbox, what would that be an hour? Well, probably let's say 30 an hour if I want a really nice, EA person, whatever. Is my time, am I $30 an hour? No, hell no. People pay me like, ridiculous amounts, many thousands of dollars to come work on their books or whatever an hour, right? So that is not an appropriate task for me to be doing. Same thing if I'm invoicing, same thing if I'm working even on some marketing things. Honestly, that's the next hire we're going to get into because I'm the CMO and the CEO right now. So you look at like, what are we actually doing? And is it even personally, am I signing my kids' camp forms? That's really something that can be done by a personal assistant or a house manager. So all that stuff first. And then the one I really love is making a plan for how it pays for itself and creates profit in 90 days.
Yeah.
In your case, it's going to be 67 days. Okay. So in 67 days, this either person I'm hiring or investment I'm making in a program or this, whatever it is, how it returns and makes profit within 67 days. I'm going to do 67 now. That's going to be our new company policy.
Yeah, so, there you go.
The thing about that is so empowering. So instead of being in fear and like worry and kind of playing small, I'm now in action. I'm now having empowerment to say, I get to make this profitable in 67 days. And that's not only going to calm me down about investing, but it's also like your point. Then what else does it open up?
Yeah.
All kinds of things.
Yeah. And I know you and I have had conversations over a glass of wine, or last time around it was over a cup of coffee, water, but about the fact that like, if I could have gone back to the old me, right? The old me. And this is a lot of people who are joining or about to join, they're starting their business or they're trying to get it going. Some of them, Sarah, have been dreaming for 20 years, 8 years, 7 years, and they're trying to get traction, right? But the stories are pulling them back. So, that's kind of like where the majority of the group is. Some people have been in business for 2 or 3 years, but they want to fly, right? So I remember us having this conversation of, if I could have gone back and told my former self what to focus on. And you're talking about that today, just like,
yes,
stop chasing the strategies because they all work.
Yeah.
Right. They all work.
Yeah. Monetize anything. Monetize anything.
Yeah. Having a year, every course you've ever purchased and had course shame over actually starts to work.
Yeah.
But I would love for you to talk to them in that place because honestly, they're a little afraid. They don't absolutely believe in themselves yet because they haven't built a pathway in their brain to it.
Completely.
Yeah.
I want to share the first big investment I made. So this is bigger. Obviously 67 days is like our deal because we don't have to like be that skinny branches about it. But I knew something had to change because I had this business. Like I said, I knew I was doing the work I'm here to do, but I wasn't getting any traction. I wasn't creating any money and I didn't know how. And so I went to a, training and they offered this year-long coaching program and it was $10,000.
Yeah.
And I just was like, well, you almost threw the computer across the room. Well, forget it. I mean, whatever. And what happened is that as I walked away, just this voice in me kept saying, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get the exact same result. And also you can only take your clients as far as you've gone. So who wants to come? You know what I mean? It's like, I can write a great book, but like, I want to have people make a shitload of money with their books. Excuse my language. Sometimes I swear. So a lot of money. And so the point is to make a big impact. So what happened is that this phrase kept repeating, the investment is part of the transformation. The investment's part of the transformation. And I thought that was just such BS sales speak. Like someone was just using that to like make a sale, but I was desperate enough. And I had $10,001 in a savings account. That's what I had. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. That's it. So I paid in full because I was like, I have to burn the boats. Yeah. And I took more action in the next 2 months than I'd ever taken in my life because I was like, I have to do things differently. I was like, anything that was suggested in that program, I took action on. I said, I will surrender. And in 11 weeks, I'd made it back. Now I hadn't made that much, in 6 months before, right? So it was like, what? And so the investment created an urgency and a propulsion of willingness to take new action, and acting as the new identity. And I've never looked back. So what I would say to me standing there is like, yes, take all that. And not everyone needs to be so dramatic, take their last whatever dollar out. I had $1 in the bank, but it's, I mean, even if it's something that's not 10,000, like, you know, with this, it's this incredibly generous, amazing opportunity to do 67 days to get your year's goal done. But it's still an investment. It's still scary when we're on the precipice of, will I make it back? And that's back to opportunity versus cost.
Yeah.
So what if it works? What could open up if suddenly everything started working for you because you're releasing what you need to release and then applying the strategy? Because this has both, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what, I mean, what I wished I just would have done it sooner.
Yeah.
I wish I could have gone back even a decade before and spared myself all that shame. And I'll say something, you know, else, Shannon, that this isn't just about, you know, making money. In the pandemic, my husband's job dramatically changed, and he'd always been able to kind of cover things. Like I was in that place where I wasn't contributing. I wasn't a full partner with him financially. And thank God, just those couple years before the pandemic, he works in film, right? And they shut everything down. And I was able to completely cover us. No, so this isn't just about, oh, let's get new stuff. This was like, I was able to care for my family in a way that would have been a crisis for us if that work hadn't been done. We would have had a crisis. And it was like, we're fine. We're fine. I got you.
Wow. Well, all because you did go on the skinny branch and said, you know what? And I'm telling them now, and I love just looking at your face, because back then it's like your yes was a yes to the future you, right?
Yeah.
Instead of saying yes to continue. So, because there is no middle ground, right? We think there's a middle ground, which is just, I'm trying. I'm in the hard work plus hustle equals success, but we're wicked smart. You're one of the smartest people I know. So some of these people on here, some of the smartest people, that if that formula worked, we'd already be, you know, sipping a pina colada on the beach, like the marketing materials all say. So why doesn't it work? It doesn't work because that is a broken formula. And I love that you are saying, like, when you go all in, when you get the mind aligned with the future, and have the steps to take with the exact system that it all works. That all works. What's possible now for you, now that you've done what we're about to do in 67-day year with everyone? And I know you're going to be joining us this round, which I'm super excited for.
Yeah. That's what's so exciting, is that really becomes, we start playing in infinite possibility. Like when we keep, and look, I still get to clear. That's why I'm doing it, because there's still stuff at the new level. I set this goal for, our 8-figure business. We get to bring 1 million books into the world and let a book save my life. So I'm all in for, like, every book that is in somebody's heart. It's not there by accident. It's there because there's someone in the world that needs that lifeline. I absolutely believe that in my core. And so my life is dedicated because someone saved my life, because she was courageous enough to write her book and share her story. So I'm still alive. And that's why I get to make sure that all of you that have that, get that book into the hands of the person who needs it. And so but then we start playing with impact. Then it's really about legacy. It's about ripple effects. It's about contribution and fun. I'm taking a group of our clients to Paris and the south of France this summer, because we were talking about doing a creativity, book writing, manifesting retreat. And it's like, how flippin' fun is that? It's like, I get to bring my family and we get to go enjoy France together and have this incredible experience for our clients. So it becomes play. Life becomes play versus trauma. I don't know about everyone here. There's no one that gets to adulthood. No one on here didn't experience trauma. Shannon, you and I have talked about, like, some really hard stuff that we've all had. And it I let it mess me up for a really long time. And if I'd had these techniques earlier, it could have been a shorter journey, right? I did a lot of therapy and other stuff that just took a lot longer. So what's possible for all of us is freedom. And really, I believe it's about bringing forth the ultimate gifts inside us. I truly believe we have gifts placed inside us: books, courses, businesses, visions, movements.
Yes. Yeah. Richest place in the world, right? The graveyard where they stay in indecision and it never comes to life. I know you have a hard stop, so I want to honor that hard stop time, but I know that you're bringing forward something pretty cool for people who join 67-day year. So we've got an exciting bonus announcement that Sarah so generously bringing into the room.
I am so thrilled because as as we're talking about, we already partnered together. We love each other's work. And so, and since I'm doing 67-day, this round with everybody here, we are making our course, Write Your Best-Selling Book in Less Than 3 Months. It's a 12-week or under course that we have that our clients pay a lot of money for, but we're going to gift that to everyone here who's going to join us in 67 days.
Oh my gosh. So all of you that said, I need to start a book. I need to, I have that as a dream. By the way, when you join, like that won't go away after 67 days. So whenever that time that boulder comes, you'll have access to that.
Yes.
So this is going to be the new surprise bonus that Sarah, we're messaging back and forth. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yes.
But this is the thing, you guys, like generosity, when you unhook from the stories, the more money that you make, the more generous you are.
Yes.
And I've talked about how we cover our charities administration expenses. This is Sarah's heart, is to see you. If you have a book in you, her course will get you to the finish line for that book. That's going to be included for this program. So you have to buy in the next 24 hours. So buy in the next 24 hours so that you're in the room, that you get that incredible bonus. Sarah, I love you. Number one, I love that you're a testimony to doing this work the right way. And I love your generosity. And I can't wait to have you in the room. It's going to be fun. And now you haven't gone through the boulders of the mountains yet, but I'm curious, what is your goal?
Yeah. So what I'm really working on is we're doubling our impact and income this year. So we're going to the 5 million and that is a result, right? The goal is another like 200 books get out in the world.
Yeah.
So that's really that's what we're going to be working on. Yeah.
Mine's going to be 1. So it's 199. That's right. I love it. Well, Sarah, thank you for being so generous and offering that incredible bonus. And thank you for coming on and just sharing your wisdom, your incredible gift of just enlightening the world one book at a time. I just adore you, my friend. All the wows.
Hi to everyone. And I can't wait to see you all in the course.
See you in the room. All right, Sarah, thank you so much. Hi. All right. What was your number one thing that you heard from Sarah other than the bonus? I knew I had that surprise waiting for you and I couldn't say it. So it was like, this is so exciting. So Sarah is an incredible friend of mine, multi-7-figure business owner. And literally I've watched her go from struggling to get any sales in that short 3-year period in a multiple 7-figure. And you heard her say it. It was all when she unhooked from the stories. And so super excited for you guys to get that. All right. Now I'm going to just update you on a few things and then we'll wrap up for today. So first of all, I need to go back here for a second. I wanted to talk about the people that did all of the lives. I know some of you are doing lives that you've never done before. So I just want to acknowledge Trisha, Jenny, Catherine, Nicholas, Kimberly, Lisa, Charlie, Mary Beth, Britta, Lane, I think it's Lean, L-E-N-E, I hope I'm saying that right. Lene, if I'm wrong, tell me. Of course, Jessica and Jennifer all doing their work. Now, the big thing I want you to do today, your action step today, is go back in the group. Now you have your meaningful goals. Now you've uncovered your mountain. Now you have your boulders. Tomorrow, we're actually creating your 67-day year. Like we're going to show you how to go from the boulder to the exact daily steps that you need to take. Complete clarity. So you want to be here live tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. Central. And tonight, I want you to go in and I want you to go live or post what you are going to be thinking at the end of that 67 days. You heard the difference in thinking, investment versus cost. Like what are some of the things that are going to be in your $1 million business mindset? Play with this a little bit. Like if you think making money is hard, say making money is easy. Like what is it that you want to be thinking when you've accomplish your boulder and you've conquered your mountain, right? So that's the action step for tonight. Now, I want to share with you something else that's very, very cool. For those of you who are jumping into 67-day year that are paying in full, I don't know if you saw this, but we dropped this last night. So first of all, you've got Sarah's new bonus. So jump in today. We've got, of course, a payment plan if you need it. If you're paying in full, let me see if I can pull this up. I'm going to try to pull it up because it's just too juicy. Hang on one second. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if it's going to be nice to me. Hang on. Let me see if this will be nice to me. It may, maybe not. So let me bring this into the actual room. Do you see? I'm just curious if anybody knows my friends here. Christina John Daly, James Wedmore, Pat Flynn, Colin Boyd, Sarah Robbins, Shanda Sumner. Anybody say yes if you know any of these people? Yeah. So I'm seeing the yeses fly in. I know these. These are some of my amazing friends, Sarah being one as well, that we've dropped as a new bonus for you today. This is a virtual mastermind that was done where these individuals and myself were talking about things like how to uncover your niche, how to build an audience, how to actually make your offer, how to get found and not be the best kept secret. This is literally like a 5-hour workshop that we're dropping in as a new bonus today. Really, really powerful. So all of you that are business owners, you want this bonus because you're getting the best of the best showing you this. Really, really incredible. And then I'm not sure if you saw it, those of you who are thinking about paying in full, but we did add a one-on-one call, not a group call, but a one-on-one call for those of you who pay in full. And then I told you at the top of the hour, when you finish 67-day years, those that pay in full will get a feature on my email list. I love doing this. This is a joy for me because by the end of 67 days, you're going to be flying in your goals. You're just going to be, I have one person that just finished 67-day year, not just one boulder, but 4 boulders later. Like she literally created 4 years worth of goals in 67 days. That's what happens when we unhook from the story and we build a pathway in our brain. So definitely go to 67dayyear.com. You don't want to miss these added on bonuses, especially for pay in full. They're all there for you. Now, tomorrow, make sure you're here same time because we're going to take what you've done the last 2 days, the mindset training that you learned from Sarah, and we're going to build out your 67-day year. And I'm so looking forward to all of you that are joining the 67-day year family. I will see you tomorrow at the same time, 12 p.m. Central for day 4 that we're together, creating your 67-day year map. I cannot wait till you see how clear results can be. All right. Oh, by the way, I know a lot of you are asking about like questions about it. Go to 67dayyear.com. All the bonuses, all the information's there. You can look through it all there. And I will see you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Bye.